Hello and welcome to AI Generated. Today I have a story of love and suspense, tragedy and mystery, all from the depths of a mechanical mind. So please, sit back and enjoy the first 3 chapters of The Eternal Echoes of Love. Chapter 1. Serendipity. Emma Bennett's days were marked by the soft rustle of pages and the quiet hum of the Willowbrick Public Library. Nestled in a quaint corner of the town, the library was her sanctuary, a place where stories lived and breathed, whispering their secrets to those who cared to listen. Emma had been the head librarian for nearly 5 years, her life a carefully curated routine of cataloging books, assisting patrons, and losing herself in the worlds between the covers. On this particular Tuesday, the library was bathed in the golden light of late afternoon. Emma was engrossed in reshelving a stack of returned books when the chime of the front door announced a visitor. She glanced up briefly, catching a glimpse of a tall, broad-shouldered man with a camera slung around his neck. He looked out of place, yet intriguingly so, amidst the quiet and orderliness of the library. Lucas Miller had seen much of the world through his lens. His photographs had captured the vibrant chaos of bustling cities, the serene beauty of untouched landscapes, and the myriad faces of humanity. Yet, it was the small, unassuming places that often held the most charm for him. Willowbrick, with its cobblestone streets and old-world charm, had caught his eye, and now he found himself drawn to its library, a place promising untold stories and moments of quiet reflection. Lucas wandered through the aisles, his fingers trailing lightly over the spines of books. He found himself in the travel section, his natural habitat, and picked up a well-worn copy of Journeys Through Time, an explorer's guide. As he flipped through the pages, he felt a presence beside him. He looked up to see Emma, her hazel eyes curious and welcoming. "Can I help you find something?" Emma asked, her voice soft but clear. Lucas smiled, a boyish grin that seemed to light up his entire face. "I think I've already found it," he replied, holding up the book. "But maybe you could recommend something else. I'm always looking for new adventures." Emma felt a flush of warmth at his words. She wasn't used to such direct attention, especially not from someone as striking as Lucas. "Well, it depends on what kind of adventure you're looking for," she said, slipping into her professional mode. "We have a great selection of travel narratives and adventure novels." Lucas considered this for a moment, then nodded. "How about you show me your favorites?" A hint of a smile played on Emma's lips. "Sure. Follow me." As they walked through the library, Emma shared her favorite books, her passion for literature shining through in every word. Lucas listened intently, not just to her recommendations, but to the way her eyes sparkled when she spoke about a beloved story. He found himself captivated, not just by the books, but by the woman who seemed to live and breathe them. After an hour, they found themselves back at the front desk, a small pile of books in Lucas's arms. "I think I've got enough to keep me busy for a while," he said, his tone teasing. Emma laughed softly. "I hope you enjoy them. And if you need more suggestions, you know where to find me." Lucas's gaze held hers for a moment longer than necessary. "I might just take you up on that, Emma." As Lucas left the library, Emma felt a flutter of excitement. It was a feeling she hadn't experienced in a long time, a sense of possibility and wonder. She watched through the window as he walked down the street, the setting sun casting a warm glow around him. Lucas, too, felt a strange sense of anticipation. He hadn't expected to find someone like Emma in Willowbrick, someone who could make him feel at home with just a smile and a book recommendation. And so, in the quiet heart of Willowbrick, a new story began to unfold, one of unexpected meetings and the magic of serendipity. Chapter 2. Shadows of the Past. The next few weeks saw a burgeoning friendship between Emma and Lucas. They met frequently at the library, often losing track of time as they discussed books, travel, and the dreams. Lucas would share stories of his travels, each tale more captivating than the last, while Emma would listen, enthralled, her quiet life suddenly infused with excitement and adventure. It was on one such evening, As they sat in the cozy reading nook of the library, that Emma's past began to cast its long shadow. "Tell me, Emma," Lucas said, leaning back in his chair, "have you ever thought about traveling? Seeing the world beyond Willowbrick?" Emma smiled wistfully. "I used to dream about it all the time when I was younger. I even had plans to move to New York City after college. But life had other plans for me." Lucas tilted his head, curiosity piqued. "What happened?" Emma hesitated, her gaze dropping to her hands. She hadn't spoken about this in years, the memories too painful and raw. But something about Lucas's genuine interest and the safe cocoon of the growing friendship encouraged her to open up. "I was engaged once," she began softly, her voice tinged with sadness. "His name was Michael. We were college sweethearts, and we had all these grand plans for our future. But a few months before our wedding, he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. It was aggressive, and within a year, he was gone." Lucas's expression softened with empathy. "I'm so sorry, Emma. That must have been incredibly hard." Emma nodded, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "It was. I was devastated. I couldn't bring myself to leave Willowbrick after that. This place, the library, it became my refuge. It helped me heal, but a part of me has always felt stuck." Lucas reached across the table, his hand covering hers. "You're not stuck, Emma. You're stronger than you realize. And it's never too late to chase your dreams." Emma smiled weakly, grateful for his kindness. "Thank you, Lucas. That means a lot." As they sat in silence for a moment, Emma's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of the front door opening. She glanced up to see a tall, well-dressed man with an air of authority stepping into the library. His eyes scanned the room before landing on Emma, a look of recognition flashing across his face. "Emma Bennett," he called out, his voice firm. Emma stood, a frown creasing her forehead. "Yes, that's me. Can I help you?" The man approached, his expression unreadable. "My name is Richard Harris. I'm an attorney from New York. I've been trying to reach you regarding Michael's estate." Emma's heart skipped a beat. "Michael's estate? I don't understand. Everything was settled years ago." Richard shook his head. "I'm afraid not. There are some complications. It appears that Michael left behind a substantial sum of money in a trust, and there are certain conditions attached to it that require your immediate attention." Emma felt a surge of anxiety. "What kind of conditions?" Richard glanced at Lucas, then back at Emma. "It would be better if we discussed this in private." Lucas squeezed her hand reassuringly before standing up. "I'll give you some space. I'll be around if you need me, Emma." Emma watched him leave, her heart heavy with uncertainty. She turned back to Richard, her mind racing. "All right, Mr. Harris. What do I need to know?" Richard took a seat, pulling out a stack of papers from his briefcase. "Michael set up this trust before his illness progressed. It was his wish that the funds be used for something specific, something he believed would bring you happiness. However, there are strict conditions you must meet to access it." Emma felt a mix of confusion and apprehension. "What are the conditions?" Richard looked at her seriously. "You must travel to 5 specific locations that Michael had planned to visit with you. Only after you've completed these journeys will you have full access to the trust." Emma's mind reeled. Michael's final wish was for her to travel, to break free from the confines of Willowbrick and experience the world. But the thought of revisiting those dreams, of confronting the pain and memories, was overwhelming. Richard continued, "You have a year to complete this task. If you fail to do so, the funds will be donated to charity as per Michael's instructions." Emma sat back, her thoughts a whirlwind of emotions. Could she really do this? Could she honor Michael's wish and embark on the journey he had planned for them? As the sun set outside the library, casting long shadows across the room, Emma felt the weight of the decision before her. It was a chance to fulfill a promise to Michael, to rediscover herself, and perhaps, to find healing and love along the way, but it wouldn't be easy. The journey would be fraught with challenges, old wounds would resurface, and Emma would have to confront her deepest fears. Little did she know, this was only the beginning. And the shadows of the past would soon return to test her resolve in ways she could never have imagined. Chapter 3. A Leap of Faith. The following days were a whirlwind for Emma. The revelation of Michael's trust had shaken her, stirring up memories she had long tried to bury. She found herself lost in thought, replaying moments from their time together, the dreams they had shared, and the life they had planned. It was Lucas who noticed her distraction first. He had become a regular presence at the library, and his friendship had become a source of comfort for Emma. On a rainy afternoon, as the library was nearly empty, he approached her at the front desk. "Emma, you've been quiet lately," Lucas said gently. "Is everything all right?" Emma sighed, looking up from the book she had been pretending to read. "I'm sorry, Lucas. It's just, a lot has happened recently." Lucas pulled up a chair, his expression one of genuine concern. "Do you want to talk about it?" Emma hesitated, then nodded. "It's about Michael. An attorney came to see me. It turns out he left a trust for me, with some very specific conditions." Lucas listened attentively as Emma explained Michael's final wish, the conditions of the trust, and the daunting journey that lay ahead. When she finished, he remained silent for a moment, processing the weight of her words. "Wow, that's a lot to take in," Lucas said finally. "But it sounds like an incredible opportunity, Emma. Maybe it's exactly what you need." Emma's eyes met his, a mix of fear and hope swirling within them. "I don't know, Lucas. It's been so long since I even thought about those dreams. And traveling to those places, it feels like reopening old wounds." Lucas leaned forward, his voice earnest. "I understand. But sometimes, facing the past is the only way to move forward. And you won't be alone. You have friends here who care about you." Emma smiled weakly. "Thank you, Lucas. Your support means a lot." That evening, Emma went home and sat by her window, watching the rain patter against the glass. Her small apartment, filled with books and memories, felt both comforting and confining. She thought about Michael, about their plans, and the trust he had left behind. It was as if he was reaching out from the past, urging her to take a leap of faith. The next morning, Emma made her way to the library with a sense of determination. She found Richard Harris waiting for her, a briefcase in hand. "Good morning, Emma," Richard greeted her. "Have you had time to consider the conditions of the trust?" Emma took a deep breath, her resolve firming. "Yes, I have. And I've decided to do it. I'll honor Michael's wish and complete the journey." Richard's stern expression softened. "I'm glad to hear that. I'll provide you with all the necessary details. The locations, the itinerary, everything you need to get started." As Richard began to outline the specifics, Emma's mind raced. The journey would take her to 5 different countries, each holding a special significance to Michael. From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the ancient ruins of Rome, the serene landscapes of New Zealand to the vibrant culture of Brazil, and finally, the breathtaking beauty of Iceland, each location held memories of the dreams, and Emma knew that the journey would be as much about discovering the world as it would be about rediscovering herself. Later that day, Emma shared her decision with Lucas. His eyes lit up with excitement and admiration. "That's amazing, Emma. You're going to have an incredible adventure." Emma smiled, though her nerves were still palpable. "I hope so. It's a bit overwhelming, but I feel like it's something I need to do." Lucas hesitated, then spoke with a hint of uncertainty. "I know this might sound forward, but would you like some company on this journey? I mean, if you'd prefer to go alone, I completely understand. But I'd be honored to travel with you, to support you through this." Emma was taken aback, her heart warming at the offer. She had grown to trust Lucas, and the thought of having a friend by her side was comforting. "Lucas, I would really appreciate that. Thank you." Answer. The stage was set. Emma and Lucas would embark on a journey together, A journey that promised to be filled with wonder, challenges, and unexpected revelations. The road ahead was uncertain, but Emma felt a glimmer of hope, a spark of excitement that had been absent for too long. As they began to plan their adventure, Emma couldn't help but feel that this was the beginning of something extraordinary. And little did they know, the shadows of the past were still lurking, waiting to resurface and test their bond in ways they could never have anticipated. Chapter 4. Unraveling Secrets. The day of departure arrived quicker than Emma expected. She stood at the threshold of her apartment, a suitcase by her side and a carry-on slung over her shoulder. Lucas, ever the optimist, arrived with a travel backpack and his camera bag, his excitement palpable. Their first destination was Tokyo. As the plane ascended, Emma felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety. The weight of Michael's last wish and the promise of new beginnings blended into a complex tapestry of emotions. Tokyo greeted them with its neon lights and bustling streets. The city's energy was infectious, and for a moment, Emma felt the heavy shadow of her past lift. They spent the days exploring ancient temples and modern skyscrapers, their nights filled with the flavors and sounds of Tokyo's vibrant nightlife. Lucas, with his camera always at the ready, captured every moment, each click of the shutter etching their journey into memory. It was on the fifth day that Emma's past caught up with her. They were visiting Shinjuku Gyoen National Garden, a serene escape from the city's hustle. As they strolled through the lush greenery, Lucas noticed a change in Emma's demeanor. "You seem quiet today," Lucas observed, his concern evident. Emma forced a smile. "Just thinking about Michael. He always wanted to visit this garden." Lucas nodded, understanding. "It's a beautiful place. I can see why he loved it." They found a quiet bench near a koi pond, and Emma sat down, her thoughts drifting. She pulled out her phone and began scrolling through old messages, a habit she had developed when she missed Michael the most. As she scrolled, she found an unread email, dated a week before Michael's passing. Her heart pounded as she opened it, reading the words that seemed to jump off the screen. "Emma, there's something I need to tell you. I didn't know how to say it in person, and I hope you can forgive me for writing it here. I've made some mistakes, and I need to come clean. There's someone else. Her name is Clara. We met during one of my treatments, and things got complicated. I never meant for it to happen, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you. I'm so sorry. I love you, and I hope one day you can find it in your heart to forgive me." Emma's world tilted. The email blurred as tears filled her eyes. She had always believed their love was pure, untarnished by betrayal. The revelation hit her like a tidal wave, pulling her under. Lucas noticed her distress. "Emma, what's wrong?" She handed him the phone, unable to speak. Lucas read the email, his brow furrowing. He looked at Emma, his eyes filled with empathy. "Emma, I don't know what to say. This is a lot." Emma nodded, her voice barely a whisper. "I thought I knew him, Lucas. I thought our love was real. And now I don't know what to believe." Lucas took her hand, offering silent support. The garden, once a place of tranquility, now felt suffocating. Emma stood abruptly, needing to escape. She walked briskly, her mind a storm of emotions. Lucas followed, giving her space but staying close enough to provide comfort. They returned to their hotel in silence. Emma sat by the window, staring out at the city that had suddenly lost its charm. Lucas sat across from her, struggling to find the right words. "Emma," he began gently, "Michael's actions don't erase the love you shared. People make mistakes, and sometimes they hurt the ones they care about the most. It doesn't mean he didn't love you." Emma shook her head, her tears flowing freely. "How can I forgive him, Lucas? How can I move past this?" Lucas moved closer, his voice soft but firm. "Forgiveness isn't about condoning what he did. It's about freeing yourself from the pain. You have to find a way to let go, for your own sake." Emma took a deep breath, the truth of his words sinking in. She had a choice: To let this revelation shatter her or to find a way to heal. She looked at Lucas, grateful for his presence. Thank you, Lucas. I don't know what I'd do without you. Lucas smiled, his eyes warm. You're stronger than you think, Emma. We'll get through this together. As the days passed, Emma grappled with her emotions. She revisited the email, reading and rereading it until the words lost their sting. She confided in Lucas, sharing her fears and doubts, and slowly, she began to heal. The journey continued, each destination a step towards self-discovery and acceptance. Emma learned to see Michael as a flawed human being, capable of love and mistakes. She found peace in the memories they had created, and in the new ones she was forging with Lucas. In the heart of Rome, amidst the ancient ruins, Emma found herself letting go of the past. In the serene landscapes of New Zealand, she felt a sense of renewal. The vibrant culture of Brazil brought laughter back into her life, and the breathtaking beauty of Iceland filled her with awe. By the end of their journey, Emma had transformed. She was no longer bound by the shadows of her past but illuminated by the promise of the future. And through it all, Lucas remained by her side, his unwavering support and kindness helping her find her way. Emma stood on a cliff in Iceland, the wind whipping through her hair, and felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had honored Michael's wish, but more importantly, she had discovered her own strength and resilience. As she turned to Lucas, her heart full of hope, she knew that this was just the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter filled with love, not defined by the past, but by the endless possibilities of the future. And that concludes our first 4 chapters. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe you'll consider hitting that like button. It's free and I would really appreciate it.